Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and in today's video we are going to learn how to make this particular dress, this gored dress. The thing I like most about this dress is the combination black and white. A student sent it for explanation and I decided to make a tutorial on it. Now this is the fabric that I used. I have two crepe fabrics. Both of them are crepe. The white is 4 yards, the black is 2.5, so I have a total of 6.5. But if you want, you can just buy 2 yards of the black and 4 yards of the white. I didn't finish using that black. I bought 2.5, but I used about 2 yards of it. Now I will join my paper because the dress is long and my pattern paper is not so long. So what I did was that I joined my paper so that I can have enough length. Now this is an off-shoulder dress, like a strapless dress. I don't know how to explain it. It has a strap actually, but it is off shoulder. So the cotton is more like an off shoulder cotton. So what I'm going to do is that I will take out how many inches that I want, like depending on how low you want your neckline to be. So for me, I took out 5.5 inches, and I marked my bust point 10, my half length 17, and then shoulder to hip is 27, and then shoulder to the full length. So the full length of this dress is 60 actually, but I made it 64. You can make yours 64, 65. The reason why you should make it up to 64 is because after joining, some parts may be longer than some. So if you trim, you have enough space. Like if you want to trim, you will have enough space to trim out. Okay, so make sure that it is up to 62, 64, so that if you want to trim, you can trim and your dress will not be short. Now after doing that, this is my 64 inches full length. I cut off the remaining paper and I kept that aside. Now I am going to extend these lines. If you have been following me, you know that recently I started using different half lengths for my front and my back. So from my front, my half length is 17, my front half length is 17, my back half length is 16. Front half length 17, back half length 16. So the half length I used for the front is not the same half length that I will use for the back, to avoid bulging at the center back. And this dress does not have a zipper at the back. The zipper is at the side. So now what I'm going to do is that I will divide this paper into two so that I'll be able to draft my front and my back on the same paper. So what I'm doing now is demarcating this paper into two, and after demarcating the paper, I will label the front and the back. And please, this is the part one of this tutorial. This tutorial is too long. The drafting took time. You can see that it is up to 24 minutes. That means I spent almost 1 hour on the drafting and cutting without editing. After editing, the duration will reduce. Now 2 inches above my bust point is my chest line. So 2 inches above 10 is 8. So this particular line I marked is my chest line. Then my back half length is 16. So I'll come up by 1 inch from the front half length. The front half length is 17, the back is 16. So this is my back half length, 16 inches, and I extended the line. Then at the hip also, the back hip will be shorter than the front hip. So the back hip came up by 1 inch. So my front hip is 27, my back hip is 26, like the length. Then at the full length, my front full length from the front is 64, but full length from the back will be 63. So this is the front and this is the back. So the difference between our front and our back is just 1 inch. Our front is 1 inch longer than the back. For some people, the difference between their front half length and back half length will be up to 2, 3. Their front half length will be giving you 19, their back will be giving you 16. So that means that their back will be 3 inches shorter than the front. So now I'm labeling my lines, my chest line, bust points, half length, and hip line. You don't need under bust, okay? Because we are using normal dart. So this is the part of the back that I will cut off. It is 1 inch shorter than the front, okay? Now the next thing that I will do is to demarcate this paper. I'll go ahead and divide this paper into two, right? So one for the front, one for the back, and you can see that our half length for the front is different from the half length of the back. Then at the back also, there is no bust point line because there is no breast at the back. So the bust point line is only at the front. I hope we understand. So right now, this is what I have. The first thing that I will do is to measure my dart line, and my nipple to nipple is 8. So I'll go ahead and mark for 4 inches. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So this paper is is on fold. It is pattern drafting, so it's on fold. And I'll mark for 4 inches down to my full length and my hip length. Okay, now after marking that for 4 inches, I'll go ahead and connect a straight line. After connecting this straight line, I will take out half an inch at the half length, just half inch, or 0.75, 0.75. For some people they can use 1 inch, but for me I am not busty, so I'm just using half an inch at my half length. Then at the upper bust, I will take half inch too. At the chest line, neckline area, I will take half inch for upper bust tightening, so that if you wear this dress on your body, it will not be gapping or gaping at the top. So you will take out half inch on both sides of the dart at the top. Then at the half length, I took out half inch. But if you are busty, you may take out 1 inch, like 1 inch on the half length, 1 inch at the chest, and 1 inch on each side. Now for this dart line, I am going to extend it to the full length. Like this particular dart line that I marked, I will extend it to the full length of this dress. You know, this is a gored dress, so this we need to have a demarcation where those white pieces will enter. You need to have a demarcation where the white pieces will enter. Okay, so I'll any dots that I marked at the half length, I am extending it down to the full length, because this dress will be 3 pieces. Then the gourd will be entering the joinings around the dart line. So the total flay on this dress, let's just call it flay, the total flay, the white pieces, is 6 pieces, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and 2 at the side. So the total is 6 pieces. 2 we enter the dart line at the front, 2 we enter the dart line at the back, and the other 2 we enter the side joining. Okay, so right now I'll go ahead and cut off these darts. Then I'll also give my neckline a little sweetheart neckline. You can see my neckline, I marked a little sweetheart neckline. Now I'll take my bust measurement, my bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that upper bust tightening. You know that I took upper bust tightening, 1 inch for the upper bust tightening. So my bust is 36 plus that 1 inch for that dart. You know, I took half inch dart on both sides of the dart line. I'll replace it here. Then at my waist, my half length, I'll take my waist measurement, my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that allowance. Then at the hip, I'll measure my hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that allowance. Okay, so I'm adding 1 inch that allowance because I took half inch on both sides of my dart. No seam allowance for now. The seam allowance that I'm going to add on this dress will be half inch all around. Maybe at the side pieces, I'll add 1 inch for shaping. So right now I have connected my neckline into my chest line, like I curved my neckline into my chest line. Now I will start cutting. Okay, so you can see that I took my neckline down into my armhole. So what it means is that the front and the back pieces will meet at the armhole. You can see how I curved my neckline into my armhole. Yeah, that is how you are going to curve your own in order to give you this sweetheart neckline or this sweetheart cut. Okay, now I'm done cutting off my dart, and I will label my center front and my center back. Always center front and side front, sorry, SF and CF, so that you know your center front and your side front. So right now I will come up by 6 inches, though I came up by 5 inches first. Well, come up by 6 inches from your hip line. You can come up by 6 inches or 7 inches from your hip line, and that is where the white pieces will start coming in. Come up by 6 inches or 7 inches from your hip line, 6 inches above your hip line, and that is where those pieces will start coming out. Now I am taking out extra 1 inch, starting from that point that I came up by 6 inches. Okay, from that point you can see how I'm marking. I took out 1 inch at the full length and connected it to that point. So the reason why I am cutting out this extra 1 inch after cutting out my dart is because I want to give my white pieces a little space to shine. Like if I join the white pieces, they will be coming out, they will have a little space to like flow. That is what I mean. I hope you understand Okay, so now I am trying to like increase my own to like 6 inches above my hip line. So from there to the full length, that means from there to the full length is 44. From that point to the full length is 44. It means that the white flayed that I will cut out will be 44 inches each. Like the length will be 44 inches, starting from the 6 inches above my hip line to the full length is 44. So if I'm cutting out my white flay, I will have, it will be 44 inches. Now I'll also take out extra 1 inch from the side piece. So I'm connecting from that point, from the flay points to the full, and let's just call that point the flay points. That is the points that our flay will start coming in. So I'm taking out 1 inch from each side of the paper along the dart line, so that when I join my flay, it will have a little space to shine. So this thing that I'm doing to the front pieces, I will also do the same thing to the back pieces. I hope we understand. Now, after cutting out the fronts, we'll keep the front pieces aside and we'll start cutting our back pieces. Okay, so now after cutting, you can see that I have a little space in between my dart line where my flay will come out from, like where my flay will shine from. Now this is our back piece, and I said that this back piece will not have any zip allowance. It will be on fold. The back will not have any zip allowance, so I'll go ahead and mark my 4 inches for my dart line, and after marking that, I will take out just half an inch on my half length for my dart and then connect it to my chest. Now just normal dart, just like the way we mark our normal dart. And also remember that when I was cutting the front, I curved my neckline into my chest line. So what it means is that my back neckline will be straight. Like I will cut off my back neckline from my chest line. It will be, the neckline of the back will be straight, but the front has a sweetheart neckline. So what it means is that the front and the back will be equal along the chest line. The front and the back will be equal along the chest line. Okay, so now after doing this, I'll cut off my neckline. Like my neckline for the back will start at the chest line. It will be at the chest line. My chest line will be my back neckline. That means the back neckline is lower than the front neckline. Okay, so at my half length, I am taking my darts. I am taking half inch and I will connect it to my chest line, and I'll also connect the other one to the chest line. Then from there, I'll take it down to the straight line, so to the full length. Now I am cutting off my neckline. This place that is shaded right now is the neckline, so I want two of them to meet each other at the chest line. I want the front and the back to meet each other at the chest line, so I will cut it off for now and I will continue with whatever I am doing. So right now I will extend my darts to the front, to the full length. Sorry, I will extend these darts to the full length, and I will also cut off 1 inch from the full length for the flay, just like I did at the front. right now I am done cutting this. The next thing that I am going to do is to cut out this on my black fabric first of all, then I'll cut it on my white fabric. I will cut my flare on my white fabric. Then remember that we need a side dart here so that the front and the back will be equal length. The back length is 1 inch shorter, so we are going to add 1 inch side dart to the front piece, and this is my side dart. And I'll go ahead and close it, like I'll cut it open and I'll close it on paper. So if I close it on paper, I will place it close to the back side piece so that you will see that two of them will meet up. They will meet up after joining. So now this is my dart, and I'll go ahead and close it on paper. This is my masking tape. I will use it to close my dart. Now after closing my dart, I'll place the two of them side by side so that you see what I mean. So after wearing this type of dress, after using all these darts, if you wear your dress on your body to relax very well, you will not have any gaping. So you can see that the front and the back half lengths are now equal. So it is time for cutting. The center front will be on fold, the side, the center front and center back will be on fold. Center back and center front will be on fold, but the side pieces will be two pieces each, and I'll be adding half an inch. You add half an inch for seam allowance. I only need half an inch for seam allowance. Okay, so just watch me as I cut. Now I am done cutting, and this is the strap, like the sleeve. I'll cut out about 14 inches and it will be 2.5 inch wide. I'll cut 2 pieces of that. Okay, so right now after cutting, I'll just go ahead and turn this, like I'll pipe it. I'll use 1/2 inch and turn it. Now this is the white fabric that I will be using for my flair, and I told you guys that from the point that this flair will start on that dress to the full length is 44. So now I am folding just a triangular flair. You can see the one I'm folding is just a triangle. You go ahead and fold the triangular flair and you measure out 44, like the length from the point that I want this flair to start from to the full length is 44 inches. So after folding the flair from that point to the full length is 44. After folding in, I'll start measuring 44. So I want to confirm the full length again. From the length to where I want it to stop at is 44. You can add extra 1 inch and I'll start marking out 44 inches on this fabric. So I'm using my marker. I don't have a colored chalk, so I'm marking 44 inches. You can see as I'm doing it. So after marking that 44 inches from the pointy part, I will start cutting. So this, I'm trying to manage my fabric. You know, this is 4 yards. So what I'll do right now is that after cutting this, I will divide it into two. Like if you are folding, fold it so that it will touch the other side like I did. Then after cutting, I'll divide it into two so that one fold will give me 2 pieces. That is how I was able to manage my 4 yards. And after cutting, I still have remaining from that 4 yards. So this is the second fold. After folding, I'll place the other one on top and I'll cut, and that will be 4, like, because I'll still divide it into 2 and that will be 4. So after cutting this one, I'll still cut the last one. That will be 3 pieces. If I divide those 3 pieces into 2 pieces, I will have 6 pieces, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and 2 at the sides. So right now I am done, and I'll start dividing those flair into two pieces. So you can see this one, I'm demarcating it into 2. After dividing this one, I will divide the next one. This is the second one. I'll also divide it. So after dividing it, we will count it, and you realize that we have 6 pieces here. So this is where we are going to stop. I'm trying not to make this video too long for you. The part 2 will be up tomorrow. It will be up soon. Yes, we are done sewing the clothes. Just upload the sewing tutorial so that you will not be bored. If you want to see more tutorials on this channel, please do well to subscribe. Do not watch and pass. Do well to subscribe and click the like button so that more people will get to see this video. My name is Ijoma, and we also have online classes. We have about 20 online classes. You can register. You can chat me on WhatsApp and I'll direct you on how to register. Thank you all, and see you all in my next video. Bye.